Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, and we have some Vanderpump news. Raquel seeks help, checks into mental health facility after Scandoval exposed. We're going to get into this right now. It's a breaking story, real heartbreaking what's going on out there. And of course, not actually surprised. I mean, yeah, sure, Raquel, was the center of a very toxic scandal that became way larger than the show could have ever imagined. She's also a human, and we wish her well, and I'm glad she is getting whatever treatment that may be in a facility here. Here's the article. Raquel is getting treatment at a mental health facility on the heels of her affair with Tom Sandoval going public. TMZ has confirmed the Vanderpump Rules star recently checked herself in. E.T., who was the first to report the story, says Raquel made the decision with her family to seek treatment. What's interesting is she reportedly made that decision before the so-called Scandoval became a thing. A source claims she had planned to start treatment before the reunion taping last month, but decided to officially wrap up the season before going. It's unclear what kind of treatment she's getting, but a rep for Raquel tells TMZ she isn't there for rehab, but rather mental health and trauma therapy. And of course, also, you get so addicted, the dopamine, the social media addiction. I mean, she has pretty much silenced all of her social media. The comments are off, but still, you can't help but go online or read about this. I'm sure it's in her DMs and her emails. So let's see what TMZ broke the story. Raquel and Tom were together behind Ariana's back for quite some time, but all came to the surface last month when Ariana found sexual text exchange between the duo. Since then, Tom and Raquel have been dragged through the mud in public and at the taping for the Vanderpump reunion. And as we reported, things were so tense, things almost got physical between some cast members. We've also learned Raquel spent time with Tom in his hometown around the holidays while he was still dating Ariana, which is why his family didn't want to meet her. Real heartbreaking stuff. We obviously respect Raquel's privacy and hope that whatever she's searching for, she can find. Now, she, of course, in the world of Vanderpump, is guilty of being, I don't know, you call her homewrecker. Obviously, Tom Sandoval is the one who did the cheating. Raquel just, betrayed a friend. Obviously, a lot of moral implications here, but, she's a human, and maybe she'll learn from this and become better and realize there's a hole that she's trying to fill, all those types of things. We've also got this article. Tom Sandoval's black eye spotted in Vanderpump Rules mid-season trailer following claims Ariana punched him. Now, we are not going to speculate on any DV issues, but we will read this article. Connecting the dots, Bravo fans were quick to notice Tom sporting a black eye in the Vanderpump Rules mid-season trailer amid claims that his ex Ariana punched him pre-Scandoval. All right, so so if she punched him pre-Scandoval, does that mean is when she found out, or was it for another reason? The moment is being revisited after Tom, 40, made the revelation during his bombshell interview on Tuesday on the episode of Howie Mandel Does Stuff podcast. He said, obviously, she was very upset. She freaking punched me and all this stuff. He told Howie Mandel of a past attempt to break up with Ariana before news of his affair with co-star Raquel broke on March 3rd. A couple of days later, I sit down and talk with her again, and she's like, I'm not letting you leave me. You're going to have to force me out of this relationship. Again, this is Tom Sandoval saying this, so, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Obviously, he's going to jockey to play some form of victim in this situation. But at the same time, you have to throw gender out. And if there is one party or one person in the relationship that is threatening mental harm, whatever the case may be, that's obviously very toxic. With that said, the podcast interview that Howie Mandel did with Sandoval left out a lot of key things, and people have mentioned the fact that Ariana was dealing with the death of her longtime dog, and other family members and this and that, and it's just a tragic situation. And I think if we were giving them all grace, it would play out like if this was not on TV, if this was just a normal friend group, it would be super messy. It would ruin friendships for sure, but they'd move on. They'd get over it. They'd live their lives. Unfortunately, this is going to follow Raquel pretty much anywhere she goes. And she's going to have to deal with that and find a way to overcome that. Tom said this, I wish we both would have tried harder. The TomTom co-owner tells Ariana in the trailer, to which she responds, "You don't deserve one effing tear from me." Following more clips of what's in store for the Pump Rules cast, including a shot of Ariana seemingly screaming at Tom. The trailer ends with the Schwartz and Sandy's co-founder asking her if she wants anything from the kitchen. "For you to die," Ariana claps back. Tom's interview on Howie Mandel's podcast received backlash from his fellow Pump Rules star. He hasn't owned up to anything. He's justifying things. He did say he was at fault for cheating. And of course, when you explain something, it'll come off defensive. It's hard to explain something and not be defensive, right? He claimed he initially broke up with Ariana, who found out about his affair with Raquel on March 1st. On Valentine's Day. It's the most upset and angry I've ever seen her. I think she went through my phone to see if anything had happened with someone in Miami, but we were broken up. She knew we were broken up. We didn't tell anybody. So that'll be for Ariana to admit. We'll see if she admits that they were broken up. Otherwise, it's just a he said, she said. Tom previously issued a formal apology. I want to first and foremost apologize to everyone I've hurt in the process. So we already got all of that. Now, yesterday, Katie Maloney went on our good friend Caitlin Bristow's podcast, Off the Vine, and hinted that Raquel and that Tom Schwartz hinted to her that Raquel and Tom Sandoval had an affair. So this is what Katie Maloney said on the Off the Vine podcast. She said she wore this TomTom hoodie, and everyone was commenting how bizarre it was. The 36-year-old told co-host Caitlin Bristow and Lo Von Rump, referencing the name of Schwartz and Sandoval's bar. So she thought it was sketchy that Raquel had this hoodie on. And let's go to the rest of this article. She went to the Tom and Tom panel and sat in the front row, Katie continued. I thought it was about him because I thought she was after him, being Tom Schwartz. However, Schwartz cryptically said, "She wasn't there for me. Trust me." The comment kind of stuck with Katie Maloney, who started putting things together and replied, "Say less. I get it." Fascinating. And of course, we had Lala Kent claiming she had her suspicions and so forth. So clearly Monday morning quarterbacking, which means hindsight's 2020, right? When you look backwards, you go, oh yeah, this all makes sense now. And there's a trove of footage of them maybe grabbing ass or whatever, that type of deal. So real sad stuff. As we saw in this last episode of Vanderpump Rules, season 10, episode 10, Katie Maloney and Tom Schwartz were not on good terms. That ended very poorly. But I guess since then, as we're going to see as the show continues, we're going to see that there's still communication there where Tom Schwartz says, hey, don't get mad at me. She ain't here to see me. Trust me. So we'll have to see what that was caught on camera. Before news broke of the affair, dubbed Scandoval, the You're Gonna Love Me podcast host noticed her co-star's suspicious friendship. I had seen on forums that she had gone to one of his shows, she being Raquel, in Sonoma, but didn't post that she was there, which is weird because she is normally front row bopping around like the number one fangirl, Katie recalled. At the time, the Bravo celebrity found it odd and weird that Raquel's friends didn't know that she attended the November 2022 show in Northern California. Katie Maloney previously told Vile Files listeners that the former pageant queen in Sandoval reeked of an affair, calling Raquel thick-skulled. There was something off about the situation. I'd love to know what you guys think about all of this. Because here's the problem I have. Let's get out of there. The problem I have is people generally in an audience have a parasocial relationship. They think they're friends with them. They want justice. They say, she needs to pay the price. She needs to know. There needs to be accountability. And you go, well, accountability for who and from who? From an audience? We get to watch the show for free, right? We get to watch the show relatively for free, and they provide the entertainment, they provide the drama, and at the expense that it's attached to their real name. They're not actors necessarily. I'm sure some things are fabricated here, but it's not George Clooney cheating on Julia Roberts in some movie where we can just it can end, it's over, let's go home. No one DMs George Clooney, you're crazy homewrecker or whatever, it's just a movie. I kind of feel like we need to wrap our head around reality TV that same way, where we get a little bit of a disconnect. It's not just a movie to them, but to us, we're watching them in a fishbowl, right? We're watching this all play out. We need to mind our own business. We need to maybe have comment threads about it. You can comment here, a safe place to talk about things, but not bring it to their DMs. Unfortunately, that's social media, back in the day, Elvis Presley didn't have an Instagram. Do you know that he didn't have Instagram? Can you believe that? He didn't have an Instagram. People couldn't just reach out to him at Graceland, you know? He was insulated, and I'm sure he still had mental problems due to all the things about being a megastar. But someone like Vanderpump Rules, Raquel here, even though the show's much smaller in scope, you get troves of people, tens, thousands of people judging them, probably messaging their friends and family too. And we just need to find a way to get above that. I personally think we're not going to change as humans, and there needs to be better safeguards on social media so that like it protects people from like seeing any of this. But to be quite honest, when this news story broke, I was on my honeymoon in Bali. I was in Indonesia finding out about it. So I don't have a solution other than what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I hate to end it on a Kelly Clarkson quote here, but it's true. And let's just hope that she learns about herself and just does better moving forward. Let me know what you guys think. More content coming your way.